Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is John Gitau and I am an international PhD student at the University of Quebec here in Montreal in the Quebec province of Canada. First, I just want to thank you for creating the time to listen in, whether you are a prospective student, looking for opportunities to apply and you're wondering where do I get these opportunities? How do I even write my application package? How best can I email supervisors or potential supervisors and hopefully bag a fully funded master's or PhD opportunities. The reason why I'm starting this YouTube channel is to potentially help someone learn from what I did, um, my mistakes, what I was able to do wrong, and what I did right, and the lessons that I got from that. Because I was able to do all these last year, and I never knew anyone. I never knew any supervisor abroad. I never had any connections whatsoever. I only relied on social media. More particularly, my opportunity came through Twitter because I saw a Twitter post and I emailed the supervisor and we got to chat a little bit. Then we moved to Zoom meetings and, just several rounds of interviews. And I'm so happy that I was able to bag a fully funded PhD opportunity that gives me a decent stipend, exposes me to learning platforms, to collaborations, to industry partners, and I'm able to move around to different, institutions because personally my supervision team is comprised of people from different domains, both in academia and also industry, because I really, really wanted to have that experience of industry and also academia so that I can make an informed decision by the time I'm done with this PhD. And that is something I was really, really curious about. I really, really wanted that so that I can have, a holistic understanding of this is the entire process. And if I thereafter choose to go to industry or, maybe potentially do a postdoc and become a professor, I wanted a PhD that will expose me to all that. So what have I learned during my application? Number one, you have to be proactive. You have, if you are interested to, if you really want to study abroad, you have to follow the right people. Follow the right people on Twitter or X. And number two, Blue Sky, especially Blue Sky. Science has moved to Blue Sky, especially in the West. Most opportunities are actually advertised on Blue Sky. Number two, try to learn about websites that advertise PhD and master's opportunities. For example, AgriStock is one of them. Number two is IDD jobs, especially if you want something related to modeling, and so many others. I can be able to append them in my next videos. Number two, really, rejection is part of the game. It's very rare for you to write your first application and it goes through. I mean, it's possible, yes, but at least for me, I think I got my PhD offer after sending around 7 or 8 applications. So with each rejection, you learn something. With each rejection, you get to do something different in the next one. Okay, so it's never a loss. Whenever you open that email and say thank you for your application, but sadly we have decided to move on with a different candidate, don't feel bad. I mean, you got yourself to the interview panel. That's a start. I mean, when I started, I never even got, I think the first 4 applications, I never got any response. Then I started to understand how to do, to play the game, how to write my things, how to organize my stuff. And at least I started getting at least a response, an interview. Then it moved to the second stage of the interview. And finally, I moved up until the third stage, and I finally got something, a fully funded opportunity with very good stipend. I arrived here in January, no, on January 13th, yes, January 13th, 2020, yeah, 2025. And it was during the peak of winter. And frankly, I was totally unprepared. I just have to be honest, because yeah, I got a few heavy clothes from the Kenyan market, but the cold was cutting right into my bones like a sharp knife. I have never experienced such cold before. And the culture shock that I got was out of this world, to be honest. Because first, I am an English speaking person coming from an English country. I don't have experience with French systems whatsoever. Yes, I've been to at least Senegal, which is a French country, a French speaking country, but it was not as real as here, because honestly, things were just totally different. But I'm going to talk about that in a different video. So winter did hit me really hard, and it took me a lot of time to adjust. And the city just looked dead. Uh, there was less activity, because I remember when I came, the temperature was negative 30 degrees. Sometimes I could even struggle to breathe, because I'm not used to this. Um, Everything was just different. The transport system was different. The banking system is different. The foods are different. Accommodation arrangement is different, especially accommodation. This is something that I really talk into detail, because, yeah, most people get scammed, or you just get yourself living with people that are not so nice. So, especially for accommodation, to me was really strange, because here in Canada, you have to share an apartment, at least for a start, because rent is expensive, let's be honest. I had to share my apartment with a Chilean, a Japanese, and a French person. All of us are different. We don't even speak the same language. For example, the Japanese and the Chilean, they don't even know English. So it was just it's just interesting. But through all that, I persevered, and I really, in my heart, I knew why I'm in this country. I'm here on a purpose and on a season, because I'm only here for 4 years at least, so that I graduate with my master, my PhD. But also through all that, I met a couple of very nice people, to be honest, both in the lab and outside the lab. At least in the lab, I was sure, because my professor is always there. Lab members are super helpful all the time. But outside the lab, especially in a French-speaking area, you are less likely to to interact with people, because I do not know French. I'm currently taking French classes. I don't speak French, so it's very hard for me even to have a conversation with someone. But I just Googled around. Maybe a good place to start, by the way, if you find yourself in my position, is church, uh, especially for us who come from regions that we go to church, and this is something that we have been brought up, doing. I went to church, an English speaking church. I was surprised to find that, 97% are actually foreigners. And in that church, I met Kenyans. And through that, I actually became friends with a couple of friends. Nowadays, after every Sunday service, we go for a road trip, especially now that it's summer. We go out, we go to, for an eatery, we go for, a nature walk or something every Sunday. So we have made that a routine. So even as an international student coming to Canada, or any other country for that matter, please make sure that you connect. That is super helpful also for your mental health. Because I'll be honest with you, in this country, where you only talk to your supervisor or a few lab members, and you go home lonely, not speaking to anyone, uh, and and the weather is also compounding that, you can easily fall into depression, and it's a serious thing. I've seen people even in my in the department that I'm in, you know, seeking psychiatric help, because it's just getting too much. It's getting out of hand. It's too much too soon. My hope is that my story will not only um, challenge you, but also inspire you to put forth your application, because I truly believe that if someone like me can actually go the extra mile and also and win a fully funded opportunity with good stipend, you can also do it. I truly believe in you. So in my next videos, I'll be talking about the systematic process I put in place, what I did so that I can be where I am today. So thank you so much for sticking around, and see you in the next one.